So today we're gonna try to see if we can fix this passenger restraint system warning. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this, but yeah, so you have both of those lights on all the time. Not the brake light, that's just have the brake on, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get rid of this restraint system warning with a little what's it called? It's like a bypass system that I got. I tried to get another seat mat sensor, and I replaced it, but it wasn't the right one, which I'm going to show a picture of it right here somewhere on the screen. It didn't work because it's a very specific type of mat sensor that you need. It's about $600 on Amazon. I'll try to put another picture of it here so you can see it. And so I'm going to end up going this route just so I can get the car to pass an inspection. And then what I'm thinking is I'm gonna end up buying another car seat instead, because that's about $100 from the junkyard, and it already comes with everything. So I'm just gonna go that route and then program it to the car. I have the programmer, which I will show you here. You can actually program the car seat with this one. It's the Foxwell NT510 Elite. You can program it with this, or so I'm told, but it has to be the right seat mat, the correct one, not from like a different model year, which is what I got, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm going to install this for now. So I'm going to need to unplug the battery. I'm going to have to, before I do that, I need to push forward the seat, I believe, and undo the bolts, because once you take out the battery connector, which you need to do because there are airbags here in the seat, then I'm going to go in there, replace this gray part, which has that type of that type of connector. I'll show it to you once it's installed. And then I need to remove a few pins to do the other part, which is this black and red one. See if I can take it out now so you can see it, so that I can see if it actually works. Hold it, you know, it's a good thing to do if you're running into this problem. So this is one part, which I'm sure you'll recognize the connector. This is from a company called Cygnetic. I don't know how to pronounce that, but and then there's another part, which is this part, which is the part that I need to do. I believe this is a resistor, if you're familiar with this, but you need to remove the a couple of pins to put that on. It's just a resistor. And I believe after this you'll need to, if you're going to drive with this style of bypass, you need to buckle your seatbelt, otherwise you'll get the warning that somebody's sitting on the seat but they don't have their seatbelt on, which I believe you can code that out, but I don't want to go that route. I just need it for now to, like I said, to pass inspection. And then I'm going to end up getting another seat to program that seat to the car so that the car is happy. I don't want to do any type of special type of coding on it where it'll be the car may or may not be safe. So I'm gonna go this route. So let me take care of the seat, move the seat forward and take care of that, and then I'll pick you right up at that point, so we can again get rid of this warning, which is very, very annoying. See if I can get rid of it. See, even if you do get rid of that warning, the bottom part, this part that shows all sorts of fun stuff, doesn't really show much. It just says restraint system malfunction all the time, which is not optimal. And yeah, then we're going to get rid of these right here, which that part, the center part, is super critical. It's very annoying. It's not really critical. It's just annoying that you're trying to drive the car and that is always on display, and then it just doesn't look right. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that today, and I guess I'll pick you up then. Alright, so this is where we're at right now. So we're going to now get this adapter and plug it into this part, which is right here. So I'm going to unplug that, plug this in there. Again, this is the seat, this is what I'm working with over here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to remove this, which is not very difficult, and plug those pins in there. So let's do one step at a time. Alright, so what we're going to do now, well, let me just take a step back. So I unplug the mat itself, and then I plug this in there, as you can see. And then now I'm going to do this part. I need to read up on it because I'm not 100% sure, but I'll pick you up then once I figure that out. Alright, so I made it all the way to my computer because I need a little bit of help, but so what you need to do is actually go into, let's see, where am I at? I'm on the eBay side where I bought it. This is what that looks like, and it was about $50. But it's from, like I said, Cygnetic. I don't know how to pronounce that. And if you scroll all the way down, let me see. If you scroll all the way down on the eBay site, it'll tell you installation, the wiring. So doing that, unplugging it, plugging it in, and then undoing that, which is fairly easy, which is the airbag stuff. Then you remove those, you take them out, and then you find the black and the red. You remove the black and the red from that wire, and then you take the resistor and put him back in there so that the car can talk to it. And then you put it back. You put all these gray connectors back in, and you plug it in. The dip switches, I am in the US, I'm in California, so 1 on and 2 and 3 switches off, which is for US and Canada, which are those dip switches on the gray little circuit board. And then that should do it. You can turn your car on. It does have instructions on the top about something about clearing the codes, but I'm not going to do any of that. If anything, I'll just unplug it, clear the codes, and then plug them back in because I don't want to deal with any of that. So I'm hoping that it'll just be plug and play. But anyways, I'll pick you up then. Let me go to the car and make these switches, and then I'll show you what happens after that. Alright, so just a quick recap. I'm going to be removing some of these adapters in there so I can do the resistor part. So you have to pull this out, and then this just slides out. I'm going to remove that connector that I need, and then I'll pick you up there. Alright, so that one was the first one that came out, then this one. Then I'm looking at the black and the red, which are the 2 pins that I'm going to be removing. Let's see if this works. Alright, so this is where we're at here. So I was able to remove the 2 pins in there. I don't know if you can see that. I was able to, but unfortunately I broke one of them. You have to press really hard on this thing. Here's the one that I broke. I don't know if you can see that, but you really have to press hard on it with something like right there in the middle. Just press hard. Don't pull on it too hard. If it doesn't come out, push it back in. Keep pressing on it. It's like right there, those pieces, but on these 2 windows, and take it out. So let me put this in there, and I'll get back to you. Give me a second. Alright, so I was able to put them in. As you can see, you just snap them in there. It's really nice and easy. let me put all this back in there and I'll pick you up right at that point. Alright, so if you're doing this correctly, and I think I am, you should end up with these two wires which go over there somewhere, and then you should end up with this little square dangling from the yellow piece, which is, you know, from in there. Those only go in one way, so you can't really mess them up. And so let me put the seat back together, turn it on, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I went ahead and plugged it back in. Like I said, I have this extra wire here. So, and then this thing's dangling. So, and then we have this plugged in, which I need to tuck in here somewhere. Well, you get the point. Let me just test it, make sure it works, and then I'll tuck everything back in. Alright, so I just wanted to make sure that I showed you that I did unplug the battery, because that's super critical, and that's going to be a 10mm. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything back so I can turn the car on and see what happens. I'll pick you up then. Alright, so the plug and play part did not function as I thought. Still have the restraint system malfunction. I do still have everything on. Like I said, I did already put everything on. So let me try to clear the codes with my Foxwell, and I'll pick you up right there. Alright, so I did a quick scan, and then I came up with multiple restraint system MRS fault 2 and something telematic. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the codes, and we'll see if that goes away. Let's try it. Alright, and so it worked. As you can see, the multiple restraint system passed no fault after I reset it. As you can see, there's nothing showing up now. I put my seatbelt on, otherwise you'd see the, you know, that light on. But I didn't want you to see it, so I buckled myself in. So it's completely clear. I get all my regular stuff down there. So looks like we're good to go. I'm very, very happy that this worked. What I did was I went in there and I said clear the codes. Matter of fact, let me see if I can show you. I don't want to mess anything up, but as you can see here, it says I went in there to say clear the codes, and then as soon as it said okay, I pressed back, and then it said reading codes right there, and then it said pass. After that, actually, when I did that the first time, they said fault 1. I turned the car off, and then I completely took the key out, restarted it, and it still had the fault code. I went ahead and I did it one more time, and then it cleared it. So I think having to turn the car off, as you can see the car's on right now, having the car off or cycling it on and off is part of the procedure, I'm guessing, because according to this, we're good to go. So I'm very, very happy that this worked, because I did not want to go and spend $600 just for the seat mat from the dealer. Actually, on Amazon too, it's about 600. But I went to the dealer and I asked him. I said, "Hey, I want to get the mat," and then they said to me, "Yeah, it's $600." So, and that's just the mat installation. I'm sure it's another 500. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this video, and I should be posting it soon. So hope you guys enjoy this. I'm also going to be loading this up to my blog, so you can see a little bit more detail on it. But yeah, it does work. You can in fact use the the NT510 Elite, the Foxwell, to go ahead and do this with the little emulator, if you can call it that. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright guys, so this is a few weeks later, after I wanted to give you guys a quick update on it. As you can see, I have no airbag light or anything. Everything's working fine. Let me turn on the light so you can see that it is in fact clear. So let me turn the car on. As you can see, I don't have my seat belt, but as you can see, the light itself is off. It's not displaying anything. I just turned the car on. wanted to go over what I ended up doing. I ended up going with a new seat. I ended up getting it from a local Pick Your Part here in San Diego, and it actually makes a lot of sense to go this route. I ended up getting both the seat and the track for the seat, which is weird how they separated it, but it's sold separately, that the track being the bottom and then the seat itself. And so that was about $65, plus ended up getting a $19 and $64 warranty for 90 days. So it came out to about $100.37 for this seat, which I knew wasn't going to be that expensive, but I didn't know it was going to be about $100, which is actually really, really good. I'm going to talk about this in just a little bit. This is the seat occupancy sensor. I'll go over that in just a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that maybe this is the best thing to do. I went to Pick Your Part here in San Diego in Chula Vista, and it makes a ton of sense to go that route. I did have to clear the codes after I plug in the car with the Fox wheel. It did give me 2 codes. I'll add those codes here in a little bit so you can see. I'll add them to the screen. But I wanted to go over the sensor itself. This is the seat occupancy sensor. It comes with foam though. I removed the foam so I could show it to you guys, but this is the sensor. The bad part that the seat, the original seat had, and as you can see, it has some numbers on it, and it was a pain in the butt to remove this, so I don't recommend getting the seat yourself and replacing it. On the other hand, if you want to go to the dealer, this will be $1,500 for them to replace. I did get a quote from them because I wanted to know what I was looking at if I was gonna go the other route and go the dealer route. I don't recommend it though. It took me a long time just to remove this. There's a ton of screws underneath the seat that you have to get to, and even if you do all that, you still have to struggle to take it out. So the only thing I think you should look into when you do get one of these seats is make sure you find an E90, and that it's not any older, or it's the seat is not going to work. The other thing you got to make sure about is that you have all the buttons, all the the doodads that the seat comes with, all those buttons. Make sure that it does match what your car comes with. Other than that, just plug the seat in, and then when I plug the new seat, after I unplug the battery, because these seats do have airbags on them, so you have to unplug the battery. After I plug the battery, plug the seat in, put the battery back in. I did get a code for it here in the dash, so I ran my Fox wheel. I'll throw the codes in there so you can see them. I clear them, and as soon as I clear them, boom, I didn't have any codes again. I did try the Cygnetic, whatever that is. I'll throw a picture here. In the beginning, like I said, I wanted to see about having the car pass inspection because I needed to do my smog and other things, but I wanted to try it to see if it would work. It did not work for long though. After I cleared it, after a while, it did turn back on. I tried clearing it, and it would clear it, and then it would come back later. So I'm not sure that's the best thing to do. And being that this whole seat is about $100, that bypass is about $40 to $50. I forget how much it was. And this whole seat, yes, it's not new, it's not perfect, but my 2006 original seat was also not perfect. So I was actually okay with this seat. I had to clean it, of course, very thoroughly, because this seat was sitting at the junkyard, and I had to take it out, which was a whole another endeavor in and of itself. Because if you don't know this, and if you've never been to a junkyard, when you go to a junkyard, when the car goes there, they actually remove the battery, they remove all the liquids, and so the car is just dead. And so in order for you to get to some of the screws down here to remove the seat, it's kind of difficult. But once you know the trick, it's actually fairly simple. You're not unbolting the seat from the bottom, you're just unbolting like a scissor part, and I'll try to throw in a picture for you guys. I'll throw a picture of what you need to remove, and then this whole seat lifts up, and then you can have access to the motors underneath. The motors in there are a square drive, a small square drive, so you can actually put in a squared bit on your drill and then just run them one way or the other, or you could go the difficult route, which was actually easier for me. I ended up cutting the motor that moves the seat backwards and forwards, or I should say forwards and backwards. I ended up cutting that particular motor, the wires for it, and then I put my drill's battery to it, and then I ended up being able to adjust the seat by flipping the connections on the motor itself, from positive to negative to go one way, and then I flipped the wires and then it would go the other way. So I moved it forwards and backwards to remove those seats so that you can get the track out, because you want to take everything with you, because you're paying for the whole thing. I might throw a few pictures of that so you can see what that was about while I was at the junkyard. So make sure you go prepared. Also, there is a to remove the seat here, there's also the same screw or that you need to remove the seats is the same that you need for the seat belt. So it's actually fairly simple to do once you have it. And what I did is I ended up taking a dolly with me, so I could just put the entire seat on the dolly and then just push it all the way out so I could pay for it. I definitely recommend going this route of getting the new seat instead of getting the sensor itself, because this is a pain. I'll throw a picture of what this looks like if you want to get it from Amazon. It has to be this exact same sensor though, otherwise it's not going to work. If you do all that work, and believe me, it's going to take you about an hour just to remove this, and then it'll take you about another hour just to put it all back, because it's got so many screws, so many things you need to mess with, that I don't recommend it. But if you do want to do DIY like myself and do want to take the challenge, I did not want to go forward after I saw how difficult it was. I just ended up getting the new seat. But I did want to talk about it because there's not much about this on YouTube. I was very surprised. There's very little information on this, and let me show you the number so you can, in case you wanted to look into this yourself. What else is there here? Yeah, there's a barcode here. Maybe that might help you if you're looking for this. It comes with this barcode, and I believe there's another one right here. It's kind of difficult to see, but I think you get the gist of it. And yeah, I believe the failure for these actually comes from the wires that come through here. These, from you just sitting on them or just from heat, I'm sure they get brittle, especially the places where they bend. And then once one of those connections is cracked, then it can't detect the person sitting in the seat. I did read online that the main issue with these is actually this connection. This is not a really good connector, and so it's sporadic. Sometimes it connects good, sometimes it doesn't, and that can throw off the information going into the car. So I wanted to mention that in case you do want to go that route. Yeah, I definitely recommend going to the local junkyard and just picking up a whole new seat. It makes sense to go that way if you are you know, on a budget like myself. The only other thing that you have to have if you're going to replace this seat is you need a scanner that can actually clear that code. Just a regular Bluetooth scanner is not going to do it. I have a Foxwell 510 Elite, I believe it's called, and that is able to clear the code after you put the seat on. You can clear that code here. You can do a ton of stuff with that Foxwell. I'm actually really happy with it, to get rid of that big warning that you get here, and the airbag warning here about the seat occupancy sensor. So that was the update, guys. This is actually, like I said, a few weeks later after I ended up having to get the seat. If you have any questions, let me know on the comments below. I'll see you guys there in the comments.